everyone, welcome back to another DD video. Today's video I've got for you today the top 10 classes in my opinion so far this season. As you know, Season 2 of Warzone Pacific has come out and there are a couple of changes to certain guns. Some guns have been buffed, some have been nerfed. And anyway, today is the top 10 classes I think you should be using in Warzone. Alright guys, we're going to start up here with the Bren classes. Number 1 is going to be Bren Ppsh. Of course, on the Bren, you're going to be using the MX silencer, Queen's Royal Barrel, the hand stop, the 40-round Sakura mag, lengthened, polymer grip, tight grip, fully loaded, Queen's Model 11, and the 3 to 6 times PU scope. In my opinion, this is the best for medium to long range engagements. As you guys know, the Bren is just absolutely insane. It fries fast, has little to no recoil, and has amazing range. Now, I see a lot of people also running the 1913 variable 4 to 8 times, but I just do not recommend it from some of those closer medium range engagements that you might not be able to actively hit your shots because of the visible recoil. Anyway, for the SMG on the first one is going to be the Hipfire Ppsh. This is the build for me. Oil can suppressor, the second barrel, Carver foregrip, 71 Nambu rounds, hollow point, pine tar, tight grip, whatever second perk. I usually run quick, removed stock, and the 2.5x scope. Now, the oil can suppressor, removed stock, second barrel, Carver, and pine tar all help with hip fire accuracy. The tight grip helps to keep your gun controllable while hip firing. The 2.5 actually adds overall accuracy, even though it's just the scope. And the reason I'm not using a bigger scope is because if you do need to ADS, the 2.5 is much better close range. Hollow point ammunition is there because it increases limb damage, meaning that since you're hip firing, you cannot guarantee you're going to be hitting dead center, torso, and head. So limb damage is going to be increased. That way you can ensure you can still pull the kill through. Alright guys, so as you know, the Bren build is going to be exactly the same, but for the MP40 here, we're running recoil booster, Krosnick 317, hand stop, the Gorenko 45, hollow point, taped grip, removed stock, the very last sight, which is the Krosnick ISO 1mm. It's the widest. It's very effective, especially if you have low FOV, maybe you're on console, you've got 80 FOV, it helps you have a wider sight picture. For perks, we're going to be using Steady and Quick. Steady keeps the ADS firing moving speed snappy, so you can snap around on people, and Quick is just overall sprint speed. We're using the taped grip to increase weapon swap quickness because we're using Combat Scout instead of Amped, so we can get those free wall hacks. Now, this is going to be the exact same MP40 across all the other classes that have it, so keep that in mind. For the next Bren class, we have Bren Wellgun. The Bren build is exactly the same, but going over to the Wellgun, we have the recoil booster, the shrouded barrel, the Mark V skeletal, the 40-round Gorenko mag, hollow point, taped grip, the slate reflector, removed stock, fleet, and quick. Now, this gun is extremely fast because it has fleet, which is weapon swap quickness and movement speed, and then it also has quick, which is sprint speed. Again, fleet is helping with that weapon swap quickness, and so is the taped grip, so it really makes up for not having amped anymore. Of course, the removed stock is just all around awesome for mobility, has ADS speed, sprint to fire speed, and movement speed, and you can see it does take away quite a bit of accuracy and control, but even still, this gun does not move. You can see it has an increased fire rate because of the recoil booster as well, and the mag. This thing shoots fast, runs fast, kills fast. That's what I love about it. This is also going to be the same build on the Wellgun for all the other classes that have it. Up third for the fourth class, this might be coming out of left field for some people, but we've got AK MP40. That is Black Ops AK. This gun used to be really good back in the day, and it is actually currently still good. For the AK, we're going to have the GRU suppressor, the Spetsnaz RPK, Spetsnaz grip, 60-round mag, and axle arms 3 times. This is really good for medium to kind of long-range engagements. It doesn't have as much range as the Bren, but it kills extremely fast. And of course, the MP40 is the exact same build. Next up, we've got Vanguard Car MP40. On the Vanguard Car, I like to run the SD silencer, the VDD 60mm, the Strife angled, the Sakura 5-round, lengthened, polymer, shrouded, deep breath. Now, you don't have to use those, but those are really good perks. And the VDD thumbhole. Of course, I used no optic because all the optics are pretty much terrible. We use the Strife Angled for the extra aiming stability and aim blocking steadiness, which can be really useful. We use the Sakura 5-round for the recoil control and accuracy, ADS speed, fire rate, all that. Lengthened for extra range. We use the polymer grip for flinch resistance and accuracy and recoil during sustained fire. As you know, flinch resistance has been really ruined this season as far as snipers, so that really helps with it. Deep breath helps us hold our breath longer and do that. And shrouded is an extremely good perk. It's scope, glint, concealment. You know, when you're running around and you suddenly see a glint, oh, you know someone's there sniping you. Not when you're using this gun. The VDD thumbhole is the first stock. It does aiming stability, recoil recovery, initial recoil control, and flinch resistance. Again, it helps with that flinch resistance nerf, and it gives you extra aiming stability when you're trying to hit far away targets, and recoil recovery, which basically means after you shoot, it's easier to recover back to a better spot to shoot at. Of course, the first barrel here gives you a whole bunch of awesome stuff. It reduces scope sway and gun bob, which is really good. Again, also gives you flinch resistance and recoil control and accuracy. And then the SD silencer helps with recoil, and it gives you sound suppression, so you're not up on that mini-map if you're trying to snipe. Of course, the MP40 is, again, the exact same build. Moving on from that, we've got Automaton, well done. So for the Automaton, we've got the MX silencer, the Empress 620, the G16 2.5X Zac skeletal, taped grip, lengthened, the Sakura 45-round mag, and Carver 4 Of course, you can use the drum mag if you prefer, but I like the extra mobility that comes out of 45. You can use whatever 2 perks you want. It's not really picky about that, but I do recommend using fully loaded, unless you want to go for more of a mobility build. The Zac skeletal is extremely good. Gives you initial firing recoil, aim walking steadiness, and aim walking movement speed. The initial firing recoil really helps when you're trying to have your first few shots be really accurate and right on the person. The Empress 620, of course, gives you horizontal recoil control, damage range, headshot damage, and ADS speed. So it makes you ADS faster, helps you with recoil, helps you shoot farther, and it makes headshot damage do really good. So this gun is extremely rewarding for very accurate players. We've got the MX silencer, which of course does all recoil and sound suppression, which is extremely useful. Lengthened, of course, is going to help with the range, and of course tape grips to combat the fact that we no longer have amp, because instead we're running combat scout. Anyway, after that, we've got another one that actually might surprise a lot of people. Most people aren't using Modern Warfare guns anymore, but I still keep adamant that some of them are extremely good. We've got the Ram 7, one of my favorite guns in the game. Unfortunately, it's not used as much. Of course, we got the classic build on the Ram, the monolithic FSS Ranger, Commando 4 50-round mag, and VLK 3 times. And then we've got it paired up with the MP40. Of course, it's the same build from before, so you already know where we're going with that. Next up, after the Ram, we have XM4 well gun. I've been seeing a lot of people run the XM4. It is a pretty good gun. It doesn't quite have the range that the Bren and some of the other ARs have. It's more of a medium range AR, but if you use it right, it can kill extremely fast. Of course, there's 2 builds for it. This would be the build that's more for range. Agency Suppressor, Task Force, Field Agent 45, and 3 times. If you're going to be using it close range, then I would recommend the Micro Flex Lead, and then using this exact same build. But if you're going to be using it more of a longer range, I'd use a 3 times that. Of course, that's paired up with the well gun, which again is the exact same build from before. Then up next we have C58 Owen gun, which might be another surprise to some people. The C58 here, again, is the classic C58 build, Agency Suppressor, Task Force, Field Agent, 55-round drum, and the 3 times optic. The C58, I've seen a lot of people run it, and I've tried it myself. It is pretty good. It's not quite got the range and power as the Bren, but it can definitely compete in some use cases. On the Owen gun here, as we all know, Owen gun has a pretty high fire rate, so I strive to make that as high as possible. We've got the recoil booster, the rapid barrel, the 72-round Gorenko, hand stop, hollow point, pine tar grip, fleet quick, orb weaver, padded, and slate reflector. So let me explain these attachments for you. Of course, the recoil booster and the rapid barrel are there to increase fire rate. The hand stop increases recoil control and accuracy. That's there to help control some of that recoil. Hollow point is for limb damage. The 72-round mag is not only does it add capacity and recoil control, but it also adds fire rate at the same time. So it kind of cancels out the fire rate that it adds to itself, making it just pure gain. Anyway, over here we've got the slate reflector, obviously for a scope. And if you do feel like it, you can run the slate 2.5x combo. I prefer just to run the slate reflector though, but some people are different. We've got the pine tar grip for hip fire accuracy, and again, controlling that recoil. The orb weaver padded is accuracy and recoil during sustained fire. That's what we're looking for this. So while you're sustaining fire, maybe you're trying to kill someone and you're in an SMG battle, it helps you control and accurately hit shots while full autoing. So it's extremely helpful for high recoil guns like the Owen gun. Then we have Fleet and Quick. Of course, Fleet is going to help us with weapon swap quickness, and Quick is just sprinting speed. So overall, this gun moves pretty fast, and as you can see, it is pretty compact. So for our last final class, this is more of like a restock class. As you can see, it does have restock, or maybe like a solo class, but this is basically what I would grab. Let's say you're in a game and you find a gold MP40 or well gun, or even someone else's custom weapon, and then your loadie comes, but you don't really want to just get your loadie for nothing. So this is what you do. You grab this class. You have the Bren with fully loaded on it, and it's just a normal Bren class. And then you have whatever secondary you want. I chose to use a Psychov. Of course, on the Psychov, we've got monolithic, auto barrel, 5mm laser, tac laser, and 80-round drum, and then fully loaded for the ammo. And then we've got double time restock and combat scout. So the way this class works is, let's say you pick up a gold well gun, you grab this class, keep the Bren, keep the well gun, and already have restock. Anyway, this isn't really just a thing I would grab just off the bat unless you're into just running AR only, but it's basically a just-in-case class. Anyway, that's been my top 10 best classes you should be using this season. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Anyway, thank you for watching, and remember to check out our sponsor, Fatal Grips, link in the description.